Well, I'm at Queen's Park in Toronto, and despite protests that were quite loud and prolonged over the last several days, Sergeant-at-Arms Denny Clark has allowed the Al-Quds march and rally to take place on the lawns of Queen's Park. And it's curious because Queen's Park has its own internal rules against illegal signs or speeches such as obscenity or hate propaganda. In any event, the Al-Quds people have been allowed to have their rally here. So let's take a look and see what they have to say. There's no hateful messages over here, I take it.
I'm not seeing anything explicitly hateful here, except for well, maybe that anti-American sign a little bit, but I mean, then again, the United States has kind of been...
So it's okay to be anti-American, I guess, right?
It's not exactly anti-American, but that government does have a lot to answer for, so... and it's the same, I guess it's the same with the Israeli government.
Why is the vast majority of terrorism today, sir, carried out by Muslim groups?
It appears that the vast majority of terrorism actually seems to be carried out by U.S. financed organized or U.S. financed and organized groups, actually.
And how many have they killed?
I am not exactly sure. I haven't exactly done the research. But
we represent the true Canadian values.
Can you define Canadian values, sir?
Canadian values are inclusive values. That means that there is no discrimination on the basis of race, ethnicity, or language. And I'm afraid that is exactly what is being practiced in the Zionist state of Israel.
In much of the Arab world, are Canadian values embraced, such as Saudi Arabia, Iran, etc.?
In Iran, yes. There are 30,000 Jews in Iran, even though Israel has offered them $30,000 to each person to leave Iran. They don't want to leave Iran because they're quite happy over there. Because Israel is not a democracy. It is a racist entity that discriminates against the Palestinian people.
Do you support Iran developing a nuclear bomb, sir?
Iran is not developing a nuclear bomb. They are developing peaceful nuclear energy. So I think you should stop propagating Zionist propaganda and continuing these myths that have no basis in fact. If you think that Israel is a democracy, well, please tell me, are you an Israeli, by the way?
I'm not.
You're probably Jewish.
I'm not a Jew.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. But you're a Zionist. Okay?
I'm not.
Doesn't matter. You're a Zionist. It's okay. You're a Zionist.
Do the Jews control the media, sir?
But there are pro-Zionist elements in the media. I'm saying the CBC doesn't buy the Zionist line. The Globe and Mail doesn't buy it. The Toronto Star doesn't buy it. But there are certain media outlets over here that are instinctively pro-Zionist.
I'm wandering around, just showing my sign, you know, supporting Israel and the message from Jesus to love your enemies. And I get over into that area over there, and some guy who's not even a policeman tells me, "You got to get out of here. You got to move away from here." I said, "Are you a police officer?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, I don't have to do anything that you want me to do." Then I think the guy who's in charge of security for the legislature came up to me and said, "You're causing conflict. You have to get over there." I'm an individual.
Well, that's another Al-Quds day in the bag, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, what have we learned today? Israel is a apartheid state, Israel is a racist state, and that the USA, where the rally has ended outside the USA Embassy, is the largest supporter of terrorism in the world. Well, I guess now that the Al-Quds people have had their say here on August 18th, they'll leave Israel alone for the rest of the year. And if you believe that, for Sun News Network, I'm David, the Menzoid Menzies.